In a spring garden, clusters of irises. Their blue-purple petals, resembling the graceful wings of a butterfly, always draw people to pause and admire. However, if someone points to an orchid and exclaims its beauty, a seasoned plant connoisseur will laugh and shake their head, explaining that these seemingly similar flowers actually belong to two distinct groups within the plant kingdom. The botanical relationship between irises and orchids is as distinct as the difference between cats and rodents. Iris, belonging to the genus Iris in the family Iridaceae, has approximately 300 wild species worldwide and is native to the temperate zones of the northern hemisphere. Its name comes from Iris, the Greek goddess of the rainbow, symbolizing a bridge connecting heaven and earth. Orchids, on the other hand, are a collective term for plants in the Orchidaceae family, encompassing over 28,000 species and considered the largest family of seed plants, found from tropical rainforests to alpine meadows. This taxonomic difference is directly reflected at the genetic level, according to a 2023 study published in the Journal of Plant Taxonomy. The Iridaceae and Orchidaceae families belong to different branches on the molecular phylogenetic tree, with their most recent common ancestor dating back 120 million years to the Cretaceous period. This is like humans and chimpanzees. Although both belong to the same order of primates, they have long since embarked on separate evolutionary paths. The 6 petals of an iris are actually composed out of 3 outer tepals and 3 inner tepals. The bases of the outer petals often feature velvety beards, as in German irises, or coxcomb-like appendages, as in butterfly orchids, forming a unique and intriguing flower-within-a-flower structure. Orchids, on the other hand, have highly specialized tepals, typically divided into 3 sepals and 3 petals, one of which is specialized into the labellum. These orchids have a wide variety of forms, from the ribbon-like shape of Phalaenopsis to the trumpet-shaped shape of Dendrobium orchids, but never the beard-like structure of an iris. Iris leaves vary in shape, from sword-shaped to striped or thread-like, with a leathery texture and parallel veins. A typical example is the Siberian iris, whose slender leaves sway gently in the wind, resembling dancing elves. Orchids, on the other hand, have evolved a rich diversity of leaves due to their epiphytic habit. Terrestrial orchids like the spring orchid often have strap-shaped or oval leaves. Epiphytic orchids like the Vanda orchid have thick, fleshy leaves, and saprophytic orchids like the Gastrodia alata have even completely lost their leaves, relying solely on mycorrhizae for nutrition. Iris have sturdy rhizomes, with new plants sprouting annually from their nodes, forming dense clonal colonies. This family-like growth pattern makes them ideal for soil and water conservation. Orchid root systems, on the other hand, fall into 2 categories. Terrestrial orchids have fleshy roots covered in a spongy endomentum that absorbs water easily. Epiphytic orchids have evolved aerial roots covered in a silvery white endomentum that absorbs moisture from the air and fixes nitrogen through symbiotic bacteria. From a cultural symbolic perspective, while both carry elegant meanings, the profound implications they hold differ greatly. In Western culture, the iris has always been inextricably linked to royalty and religion. King Louis VII of France chose the iris for his national emblem, symbolizing the convergence of light and power, and Van Gogh's iconic painting irises sold for a resounding $53.9 million, writing a legendary chapter in the art market. Orchids, influenced by Eastern culture, embody the philosophical meaning of gentlemanly interaction. Confucius praised orchids, saying they thrive in secluded valleys, persevering in the absence of others. Chu Yuan even used the term sowing autumn orchids as a pendant to symbolize his own noble character. In modern horticulture, both flowers flourish in distinct ecological niches, leveraging their unique strengths. Iris, with its exceptional humidity tolerance, has become an indispensable element in waterscapes. In the Iris Garden at Shanghai Chenshan Botanical Garden, Louisiana irises and irises intertwine in shallow water, creating a dreamy blue-purple ocean. Together with water lilies and lilies, they create a layered, three-dimensional landscape. Orchids, as leaders in high-end cut flowers and potted plants, with varieties like Phalaenopsis and Cymbidium, maintain a leading position in the Lunar New Year flower market. According to data from the Kunming International Flower Auction and Trading Center in 2024, the annual transaction volume of orchid cut flowers exceeded 4.2 billion yuan, accounting for 17% of the fresh cut flower market. This journey to identify genuine orchids is actually a vivid and engaging lesson in plant evolution. Irises, with their distinctive beards and sword-shaped leaves, Write a magnificent epic of survival.in the Northern Hemisphere. Orchids, with their specialized lip petals and aerial roots, tell a legendary story of symbiosis.in the tropical rainforest. As we pause to admire these flowers, let us remember the most beautiful sights in nature lie.in the harmonious coexistence of differences.